Hey guys, Jim here. On my way home from breaking bread this evening over WrestleMania with Tim and some friends of his. I appreciate their inviting me into their home to take in night one of WrestleMania. So I thought I'd hop on here on my drive home and give some rapid initial reactions to night one. And I'll say this as I'm finished munching on a Snickers bar. If you ever wonder if the product placement by WWE works, it does, because I was gaslit for 4 hours into believing that I needed to eat a Snickers today before I went to bed, and sure enough, I did. Excuse me, but yeah, night one is in the books, and my initial thought is it felt like about a 2-match WrestleMania. The undercard, if you will, everything before Tiffany and Charlotte and that glorious main event, just kind of felt like it was there. The opener, Jay and Gunther, here's the thing. It felt like a good match. It didn't feel like a great match. And we were talking about it during the entire match that it almost seemed like Jey Uso got hurt in his entrance, as he was kind of favoring his right arm, right hand, right shoulder, something like that. And then Tim hypothesized that it may have been like an adrenaline dump, like he had, knew he was winning, family's all there, just, the emotions, the nerves, the excitement, the, just everything leading in to Jey Uso being in that spot was and kind of an adrenaline dump. So I'm wondering if there was something there that made the match feel a little bit off. Still felt like a good opener, and was one that the live crowd, maybe was more into it than it came across on television. Because the crowd was hot for the whole thing. So, definitely something missed between the live crowd and television. I'm happy Jey Uso won. I personally, I would have been fine either way. I'm a Gunther guy. I love Big Gunther, but this felt like Jay's one and only shot. And if he loses here, I don't buy into main event Jey Uso anymore. So good to see Jay win. The second match, the tag team titles, with the New Day, and the Clash of Clans Raiders. I'm glad the New Day won. I felt the New Day kind of had to win. But beyond that, not good. Really not great. And to me, it's just a strong example that the War Raiders, the War Machine, the Viking Raiders, the Clash of Clans Raiders, however we want to call them, are just they're past the expiration date, due to age and injuries. It just kind of feels like those guys aren't what you would come to expect from the War Raiders. Third match, Jade and Naomi. It felt like a struggle a little bit at times. I think Naomi, being as good as she is, made it better than what it could have been. But it never really got into that second gear until just at the very end. I personally, as it actually came down to today in these last couple of days, I would have liked to have seen Naomi actually pick up the win. Because I think this turn and this new, this new attitude for her is something that, and not that it's going to just magically go away, but I thought getting a win tonight would have really kind of kicked it into a different gear. Jacob and LA Knight. This kind of felt like a WrestleMania match. Like, this was the first time tonight where I was really like, all right, cool, we're really at WrestleMania now. Which part also, I don't know if part of it is because of how light it was in the stadium. And I get, like, this is what happens when you do a West Coast WrestleMania, especially in mid to late April. It's going to be light out. So, I don't know if that didn't help how I felt about parts of the show. But LA Knight, Jacob, really good match. Love that Jacob won. That dude is an absolute star for WWE, and I think really I'm excited to see what he does as U.S. champion and what he does beyond his U.S. title reign. And then Rey Fenix versus not Chad Gable. The match itself was better than it would have been if Rey Mysterio didn't get hurt, which sucks for Rey Mysterio that he got hurt. Hope that it's a short term, especially with this wild announcement during the pre-show that WWE has bought AAA. And hopefully Rey will heal up quickly and get to be a part of some of the stuff that WWE and AAA do together, or now just everything under the WWE umbrella. But hopefully it's not a long-term injury for Rey. Like I said, the match itself I think was better than it would have been otherwise. But I thought we were going to get the unmasking of El Grande Americano, but that didn't happen. So now it's like, where are we going from here? I'm not 100% sure. The match was fine, but that very easily could have taken place on SmackDown, or what they did on SmackDown last night with the LWO, or I guess just Rey and Rey Mysterio, Rey Fenix, and the third name slipping my mind, I apologize, taking on Chad Gable and the Alphas. Like, you could have done that and done El Grande Americana in that trio on WrestleMania, and then you don't have Rey getting hurt on SmackDown. But before I talk about the last two matches, it's a bummer that Chelsea Green not going to have a WrestleMania match for the U.S. title. It's a bummer that the tag titles on SmackDown are going to be defended in a TLC match next Friday on SmackDown. Those two matches should really probably be on this card. And, I'm sure we'll talk about it more when we go live on Tuesday to kind of recap Mania weekend. But I hate that your women's Intercontinental Champion is in a tag title match when you have plenty of women that could be in that match otherwise. You have women's tag teams that could be in that match otherwise. And now I also hate that you're doing a Bayley injury spot that isn't actually an injury to probably bring back Becky Lynch and take Bayley's spot. I think Bayley should still be in that match. But, now, so that's basically what I call like the WrestleMania main show pre-show, because none of it felt like WrestleMania. And there's still part of me that looks, as we talked about it on our show over the years, that since the WWE made this switch to 2 nights, WrestleMania 37, night 1 was better than night 2. WrestleMania 38, night 1 was better than night 2. It feels like after those two, the WWE has been intentional about making sure that WrestleMania night 2 outshines WrestleMania night 1. I don't think it was super evident in WrestleMania 39. I don't think it was that far off last year. But this year it really felt it. When 5 out of your 7 matches barely feel like WrestleMania matches, that's kind of the vibe that I get. And it felt it today. It felt it tonight. So I don't know if that's going to be a pattern moving forward, or if it just happened to be the way that the card shook out this year. But that's how I kind of felt about matches 1 through 5 tonight. Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton, really good match. Felt like a WrestleMania match. I thought it was good and then got great in the finish. Tiffany, for her, looked like her mouth, her teeth got all busted up. Hopefully nothing serious there. But it really did feel like that's where WrestleMania started. And really good match. Glad that Tiffany Stratton won. I know there's a lot of mixed feelings about the quality of her title reign so far. I still think some of that is you did it basically during the run up to WrestleMania, and when you're a champion, a lot of times in that time period, it's all you're focusing on, all you're doing is making sure you get to WrestleMania as world champion. And there's just not going to be a lot of extra stuff, extra matches, title defenses, etc. Especially when Charlotte picked Tiffany so early in the post Royal Rumble fallout. So hopefully now, with a big win under her belt, Tiffany Stratton's title reign will go to a next level. But we can dislike Charlotte Flair all we want. We can be tired of Charlotte Flair in these big match spots. But a night like tonight, especially when you kind of had to, crown Tiffany Stratton a bit higher than she's been, a WrestleMania win over 14-time world champion, women's champion, Charlotte Flair. That's how you do it, and Charlotte reminded everybody how good she is. That she is among still the best workers in the company. So like I said again, glad to see Tiffany Stratton retain the title. Only person to retain their title this evening. And then the main event, of course, starting Seth Rollins comes out with the flamethrower. Remember, The Rock used a flamethrower at WrestleMania 32. More on that probably tomorrow night. And then changes out of the black cloak to the all-white gear, which reminiscent of, world champion Seth and one of the best, the white Power Ranger style gear that he wore one time that was probably the best gear he's ever worn. And then you had Roman Reigns. He had a little bit of an adjusted look tonight with the white and black gauntlet and the new boots. Coming out, of course, by himself. No wise man in his corner. That went to CM Punk. Had Paul Heyman in his corner for this one. Came out in the yellow pipe bomb gear. Could have also possibly been for the Vegas Golden Knights, the NHL team in Las Vegas. But as the course of the match went on, we saw, really, easily the best match of the night. We saw storylines within the match taking place, and as we started to build towards this finish, Paul Heyman, again, one of the best to ever do it, maybe the best ever in terms of kind of that managerial quote unquote advocate role, but Paul Heyman, fantastic, just reacting different ways to different things by different superstars, and then hands a chair to CM Punk. And when Punk goes to use the chair on Roman, Heyman hits him with the low blow. And then, as Roman is teeing off on CM Punk, Paul Heyman points out that Seth Rollins was there for the attacking. This monster, this demon that has lived in Seth Rollins' head for so long, was there for the attacking. You can take him out, win the match, and you have won this main event at WrestleMania 41. And when Roman went to hit Seth, another low blow. Then Rollins gets the win, aligning with Paul Heyman, and that closed night one. And first off, super excited, because I have always said that besides Seth Rollins being the best member of the Shield, that Seth Rollins as a heel is infinitely greater than Seth Rollins as a face, and we are about to get that in the coming days and weeks after tonight's turn. So overall for night one, kind of I'll give it like a B minus. We've certainly seen a lot worse. We've certainly seen a lot better. The last two matches, especially the main event with the turn, love me a good heel turn, especially when it's my Seth Rollins. Brought it back up from probably like a C minus or a C. But yeah, it didn't really kick into gear until the last couple of matches, and but I love what happened at the end, and now I think it really lends itself to some of the theories that we talked about on our preview show on Thursday. So if you haven't checked that out, you can go back and listen to the whole episode. It was like 2.5 hours long, or something like that. But we did also post to our YouTube the just the WrestleMania predictions. So you can go and check those out. See how we did for tonight. See what we predicted for tomorrow. But we kind of talked a lot of these theories about with Seth Rollins and The Rock and the new corporation and John Cena and some of the people that may or may not be joining. But, you know, with this kind of alliance, with what we saw Seth Rollins do tonight, I think it does kind of lend itself to Rollins may be the first piece, Rollins and Heyman the first piece of this new corporation. I think Rock, who is a member of the TKO board, can make decisions when he wants, how he wants. I think we're going to see The Rock make tomorrow night's main event a no DQ. Why would he do that? Well, because now you have some guys ready to help out your John Cena in that main event and help him beat Cody to become the new champion and help form this new corporation. Seth Rollins runs Raw, John Cena runs SmackDown. Paul Heyman goes back and forth between both of them because we know The Rock ain't going to show up very often. So the last two matches really helped me get excited for what we're going to see tomorrow at night 2 of WrestleMania. Hit us up on social media in the comments on this episode. If you are watching, listening on YouTube, hit us up on social media. Leave us a voicemail. The number will be in the episode description because I don't know it off by heart yet. And tell us what you thought about night 1 of WrestleMania as well. We would appreciate that. Follow us on all of our social media at 3 Count Thursday. Always the number 3, never the word 3. And I won't do anything like this tomorrow because I won't have a drive home tomorrow. But we will be live on Tuesday, wrapping up the whole WrestleMania weekend. So stay tuned to that. Again, hit us up in the voicemail. Hit us up on social media. Let me know what you thought about night 1. And until next time, go for the pin.